Hello everyone and welcome back into this really cool video, because in this video we'll be trying 3 legendary replicas from the automotive world. So as you can see, we have 3 similar cars, both in styling, the body, the chassis, everything, but with 3 different hearts, 3 different power plants that you will be seeing in a moment, and of course 3 different exhaust systems, 3 different gearboxes and suspension and brakes and tires. So enjoy the video. That's my number 1 priority. And of course, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, share the video, and of course hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. So we'll be starting with the least powerful to the most powerful. So the first one that we'll be starting with this one, which is the base model, as I called it. Well, all of these 3 cars actually, they look absolutely the same fixtures, same body, same everything, but this thing has this engine in it. It's called the Nissan A10 Inline-Four engine. This little beast here is a tiny engine, actually, really tiny engine, not producing so much horsepower, but it's a good engine. This engine is producing 55 horsepower and of course 56 pound-feet of torque. This is a 1 liter engine, or to be truly honest, it's 988 cc engine, 4-cylinder, tiny, economical and cheap. Was made in the late 60s, early 70s, with 8.5 to 1 compression ratio. Alright, so this little beast here is, of course, all of these cars are manual, all of them are front wheel drive cars, so let's enjoy driving this one. But after, of course, let's finish talking about the second cars first. So the second car that we have here, it's actually the same body, same chassis, same everything, except the power plant, or the heart, because underneath here we have a Volvo engine. This is a 2-liter Volvo engine. To be exact, it's the B20B engine. The B20B engine was made in 1970. It's a tiny, not tiny, it's actually a small engine. In its days, it was a 2-liter engine with 2 single-barrel eco carburetors on it, running on 98 leaded fuel. And it's with this engine, this beautiful engine is making 118 horsepower and 123 pound-feet of torque. This engine can go all the way to 5,800 RPM, and it can actually surprise you. It's actually very decent, it's economical, and well it's made by Volvo, so yeah, Volvo knows how to make an engine. So yeah, let's talk about the third car here. The third one, which is a very odd choice, an extremely odd choice when you compare to those two engines. So the third car here, this thing has a 1970 Boss 302 Ford V8 in it. Yes, this thing has a 302 cubic inch V8 engine from of course the Ford Mustang Boss, producing 290 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. It's a huge beast, and it's making tons of torque, tons of horsepower, and it will be really awesome to drive this thing also in front-wheel drive mode. So since we have talked about the cars, now let's start driving them. So let's begin with the smallest one here. Alright, so let's start with the A10 Nissan Inline-Four engine. So all these 3 cars weighs around 1,000 kilograms, but except the V8, because that is a little extra heavy because of the engine, because well, it's 1970s and all 3 engines are made from cast iron, so yeah, you can expect heavy cars. But all of these 3 weighs around 1,000 kilograms, which is very light and very cool. So let's see how the A10 will perform on a 2-lap around the short circuit in automation test track. Yes, we will do 2 laps. Let's see how it will perform. Remember, this is a 55 horsepower engine, so it's not really excited to go quick, but it should be fun around the corners because the car is light, it's nimble, and it's low on power. Well, it's not really the most excited, driving that you will do, but it's really fun on a short circuit. And I also want to give a little advantage to the V8. That's why I've chosen this circuit. So this circuit has some fast bends on it so we can enjoy the V8 power, and some tight bends so we can also enjoy the light carbs. So yeah, this track works for all. A little off, not bad. Okay, so this thing is very slow. As you can see, this is foot hard to the floor, and that's all we can go. Well, this is like a classic version of the VW exclamation mark, yeah, because as we have seen in the Top Gear special, when they went to Chernobyl, Jeremy Clarkson was driving the up exclamation mark, and I quote here, he said, "The up exclamation mark has no power. You put your foot hard down and leave it there." And this car is an early version of that car. When you put your foot hard down and leave it there. So the first lap we did it in 1 minute 38. Of course the second lap will be quicker because, well, I'm not accelerating from a dead stop. I'm gonna try and make it as clean as possible. Yes, it takes a little while. Look at it. This is foot hard to the floor and I'm not lifting off. Now we need to brake. On 55 horsepower. Not really that powerful, but it's very acceptable. So the whole idea of this video was a requested engine, which is the Volvo engine, the B20 engine. That was a requested engine by a viewer. I'm gonna write his name now. So yeah, I made it and I thought myself, well, I want to try the same car with different engines, like a tiny lightweight one and a big powerful one, and of course the Volvo one. Check out the difference. So this is the Nissan A10 engine. So the fastest lap was 1 minute 32.054. So now let's go and try the Volvo one and then the Ford Boss 302 after it. Alright, so the second engine is the Volvo B20B engine, a 2-liter engine with 2 single-barrel eco carburetors, making around 113 something horsepower, and yeah, 128 pound-feet of torque. It's not really 118 horsepower, sorry, and yeah, it's not really the most powerful engine here, but it's much better than the Nissan A10. It's a bigger engine, more torquey, of course, and bigger capacity means much more horsepower and torque. So let's see how this thing will perform with 2 single barrel eco carburetors. That's how this engine came from the factory. Wheel spin and everything. Much better than the Nissan. It's a little heavy, so I need to learn how to control it. Open differential power, 1 tire fire. Wow, that's a huge difference. No ABS, of course. Little handbrake. Check check out the difference between the A10 and the B20B. On minute 32. The extra horsepower made this car to perform much better, which was really awesome. Feels much tighter, much controllable, and it can get up to speed much quicker. So yes, a tiny engine can be fun, and a slightly bigger engine can also be fun. Alright, here we go. The Volvo Power, 1 minute 27.287. That's a huge difference compared to the A10 Nissan with a total time of 2 minutes 59.690. Wow, that's like 11 seconds difference. Alright, now let's go and try the Ford Boss 302 V8 with the same car and front wheel drive machine. Alright, so what we have here is a 1970 302 cubic inch Ford V8 engine from the Mustang Boss back then, with 290 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. This thing is a true beast compared to those engines with twin exhaust pipes, bigger brakes, and right now we have with this car rear discs. With the first two cars, I've chosen front disc and rear drums, but on this one we have all the discs all the way, so we can stop this little beast. And as you can see, we have fatter front tires because it's a front wheel drive car and you need grip, and of course it's a little bit lower to the ground, which gives the car better handling. So let's see how this thing will perform. And yeah, I forgot to mention 8.9 miles to the gallon. Yes, 8.9. That's how this thing is. That's how thirsty this engine is. Single 4-barrel carburetor, as I quite remember. Yeah. Very torquey, as you can see, spinning the tires on every single corner. A little extra heavy. The brakes are much tougher than the previous brakes, and it's handling absolutely beautiful. If you can control the power without making the tires to spin so much, you will have so much fun with this car. And remember, this is a front wheel drive car, and if you are wondering why I kept it front wheel drive car, because we have a heavy V8 engine up front sitting on the tires, and that will give you more grip. That's why I kept it front wheel drive car, because with a heavy engine up front you'll get extra grip. Because I tried to go rear wheel drive, and that resulted in 30% wheel spin, which is not really pleasant. Wow, that's a proper car. This thing is really handling like a proper car. All these three cars were made in Automation Game. If you're watching for the first time, all these three cars were made in Automation, the car company take-on game, and exported to BeamNG.Drive car game. So you can drive them here and see how they will perform. And so far, all three cars are performing absolutely beautiful. V8 power. it's a little unique actually to drive a V8 with front wheel drive. It's a really rare combination of, you know, front wheel drive and V8 power and V8 noise. Because it's really common to see V8s and rear wheel drive and all wheel drives, but not front wheel drive. Front wheel drive is extremely rare. Like in the 70s, 80s, Cadillac made that. 1 minute 18. Oof. Absolutely beautiful. With a total time of 2 minutes 41.823. That is an absolute beast here. I love this version so much. Look at it. It's tons of fun. Spinning the tires on any gear if you want to. If you want to. If you don't want to, you can just make it grip. And it's extremely fast. Yeah, the brakes are a little oversensitive, just to make it stop better. Let's try and demonstrate like what kind of speed this thing can achieve, so you can understand how this thing is actually performing. All three cars are running with hard long life tires, not medium, not sport, not slicks, nothing. Regular daily driving hard tires. Absolutely beautiful. This thing can get up to speed very quick. But it's 8.9 miles to the gallon, which is really thirsty. Look at the speed. This is a 1970 car, 1970 engine. Well, it's a light car, that's why this thing is extremely quick, because of course the 302 Boss Mustang was really heavy, and this is like a feather compared to that. This only weighs 1,000 kilograms because of the engine. This thing should weigh like 900, something like this. Look at the speed, and it's uphill. Remember, this is uphill. I'm going uphill here. What a beast. Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot. I totally forgot that yeah, the track is closed. I was just flying and well, flooring it. And the brakes, of course, no ABS, and yeah, not much control, so yeah, I totally forgot about this, about that road being closed. Alright, so we had our fun here. This is the V8 version, the 302 Boss, or the Proton. As you can see, this is the Proton with its 3 versions. Well, I have actually a 4th version, but that version still needs some work with a Ferrari V8, actually a classic Ferrari V8. I want to try and make it work, and you will be seeing that very soon. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video. This has been the Volvo B20B, and of course the Ford 302 Boss V8, and the Nissan A10 Inline-Four engine. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If it's boring, I apologize, but I just want to demonstrate that you can actually make a replica of a great engine and ruin a car with, or you can put a big engine on the front tires, which no one will think of doing that, because well, everyone wants the V8 with rear-wheel drive to do huge donuts and skids. But I promise, if you try it, you will have so much fun. Make a big V8, stuck it with a front-wheel drive car on the front axle, so you can have extra grip and control your throttle, control your brakes, and choose a car without power steering, without ABS, without any kind of assistance, and just practice. You will have so much fun and so much absolutely greatness. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned, because more videos will be coming very soon. And all these 3 cars, all of them, all these Protons, you can find them on my Patreon page. Of course, I'm going to put the link in the description below. And of course, by downloading these 3 cars, you will be supporting the channel and supporting future videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you very soon, and goodbye for now, my friends.